money. I was down, but I'm always gonna get back up. I'm arranged, but I know I'm gonna get that truck.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I was watching Joanna Spicer the other day or yesterday, and she talked for like an hour, and I was really into it. And I remember that I used to do that. That I used to make videos where I would just talk, and so I thought I would do that, just get up here and talk, because I don't know, life is happening. And I thought about at one point just putting up a a community post or whatever. I'm doing my makeup very neutrally, because I need to make some content that is timeless, like evergreen timeless is what I mean by that. And I need to take a couple of photos and things for Instagram, and I want my face to kind of look neutral. Okay, so anyway, life has been happening, and I thought about like putting up a community post, but I know that I hardly see those, like from some of my favorite creators that I watch. I hardly see them or remember to go look. So like I can't really assume that if I was gonna put up a community post that people here would see it. I think that's just a bad assumption. So I was like, let me not do that. But then I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I want to be able to communicate with my peeps. And so here we are. I'm communicating with my peeps. So life has been lifing. This month, like I was even gonna skip my wrap up, because I haven't really been doing much. I really haven't been doing much. I'm feeling very like, I don't know, slumpy a little, and I'm not really sure why. But you guys know, like, my journey with mental health is literally a journey. And it gets annoying to constantly be talking about it, so I don't. Yeah. But I did go to New Orleans again earlier this month. I went for what's called Netroots. I don't know if you know about that. It's basically a giant convention for people who are like communications nerds, organizers, all kinds of people like kind of come together, and there's like workshops. My organization held a breakfast where I was supposed to speak, but that ended up kind of being a show. Because the people who were running it this year, my organization that I work for is so big that we are a sponsor for Netroots every year, and it's kind of a big deal that they flopped our breakfast this year. They said that they like had a woman who normally took care of that kind of thing, and now she's like no longer with their organization, and so it fell through the cracks. Cool, but it was kind of disappointing, because we like, me and like 3 other coworkers, we like spent days practicing and putting together a presentation. We were all like hyping ourselves up, like getting the nerves out to be able to speak to all these people at the breakfast and da. Literally only one person came, which was also their fault. They were responsible for like the turnout of the event, and and there was no breakfast. They forgot to send breakfast to the room that we were in. It was really bad. But Netroots itself though was good this year. There were a lot of like really good panels and stuff. I sat in on a panel talking about how black and brown men are the new swing voters, basically, which was so relevant for me, because last political season, I spent a lot of time on the internet, because I'm literally on the internet, and I spent a lot of time like watching stuff. And last political season, Kamala and Trump, there were just a lot of commotion about whether or not like we were gonna see black and brown men vote for Kamala. And I remember saying something within my organization and being shut down about it, because they just couldn't believe that that would be a thing. And then it ended up kind of being a thing. Even really close, we ended up learning of people in our own orbit who weren't sure they were going to vote for Kamala, which was so crazy. That's like a whole other story. But I went to this like panel of different men talking about, what it means to be a man who's like navigating patriarchy also, and voting liberally. And it was an interesting topic, I'll say that. It was really interesting, but also kind of validating. I just wish that the people I was trying to talk to about it had been able to hear it too, that I didn't just make that up. My eyebrows, oh my god, yo. Okay, so it's summer, y'all know, and I haven't really been doing my makeup as much. I haven't been motivated, I have to say that. Like, ooh, okay. Okay, we're good. I haven't been motivated. I haven't been motivated to do my makeup, not even for content's sake. And so I haven't been. I've just been wearing my face. And whenever I do that for too long, it's like if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. And it gets kind of bad, like the way that I can't remember how to do my makeup. My comeback to doing makeup eyebrows are always the worst. Not good, not good, but we're gonna move on. Not good. Talking about net roots. Then I think I came home and I did start a vlog. It didn't make the cut. It didn't make the final cut. Actually, I made 2 vlogs that didn't make the final cut. The first one, we were doing stuff around the house. We were like, I started painting my wall. Actually, I'm just gonna insert that. Actually, I might as well just go ahead and stop. I might as well just show you the elephant in the room. All right. So yeah, this is where I ended up. I let the intrusive thoughts win. If you know, you know. I have been working on 2 pattern walls. This one's still, it's still like unfinished, but I haven't like ruined it. I was doing the same thing on this wall, and then I was like, actually, I don't know if I want a full wall with a pattern. I think I want a solid colored wall. So then I just let the intrusive thoughts win, and I started painting over everything that I had done. And then I was like, actually, I don't know if I like this shade anymore for the whole wall. It kind of reminds me of like a trash can, or like the trash truck a little bit. And so I think I'm gonna go find me a nice pretty sage color, like a light sage color, and paint the wall that color instead. But I gotta go to the hardware store to do that. Okay, so as you should have been able to see, hot mess. Then I try to fix it, and then I run out of paint. Ignore me right now. All of my foundations are running low. I need to buy more. I need to buy new makeup. because I use things until they're finished, which sometimes is not the best thing, because then when you need it you don't have it. By the time you see this, I will be coming back from vacation. I'm going on vacation out of the country, and I'm really excited about that. But when I get back, then I need to get back to working on this wall, because it looks exactly how it did when I ran out of paint. I haven't gone back to the store yet. I haven't gone back to the store yet. Anywho, the second video that did not make the cut, I went to the club with my cousin and my sister, which is so funny now because my sister's old enough to go out with us, and so she's been going out with us a lot now that, you know, she can. So I was showing y'all like a get ready with me. We're going out, we picked out my fit, all that good stuff. I was feeling sexy, all right, feeling real sexy. And we get to the club, and literally 5 minutes and we're bumping into my ex at the club. You know what I mean? And I was telling y'all about it when I got back, but I was drunk. I was so drunk. I was like, I can't post this. But I was like, how dare he? Because literally, after we like greeted each other, all this, me and my cousins get back to doing our thing. We decide we're gonna go far away from where we see he is, and then like not even, again, 5 minutes later he's over where we are, right? And then he's like getting numbers, he's like getting dances. And I will say though, kudos to me look, kudos to me and my taste in men, because it was just very funny to me because okay, so it was Jamaican night, right? It was Jamaican night. It was wall-to-wall Jamaicans up in there, all right? Just men, wall-to-wall, just wall-to-wall, all right? And that's the thing I've been seeing on TikTok too, is like women are leaving the club scene and the men don't seem to notice or care. Anyway, it was very funny to me because as much as it was like hardly any women in there, I was like, not that I was watching my ex, but he was in my face, like he was in my space. He could have been on the other side of the club and it would have been cool, but literally he was like behind my cousin at one point, behind my sister at a different point. Like he was right there. You know what I mean? Like right there in my space. So I had no choice but to like see what he was doing. And he was getting girls though. He was getting girls. He was getting girls to dance with him, and they were dancing with him. And you know how we are these days. We don't want to fucking dance with nobody. Like, get out of my face. I'm here with my friends. Like, whatever. And he was getting dances in or whatever. Mind you, a lot of the men in there were like talking to each other and like trying to just stick with each other. Probably out of fear of rejection. And it was just interesting watching him go for it. Like, go for it. Like, it could never be me as a man. I would be terrified. But I started getting irritated because for as much as I was like, he's single, he could do whatever he want to do. I'm single, I can do whatever I want to do. I'm just chilling. My cousin was like in my ear the whole time, like monitoring him, like telling me to blow by blow and like whatever, you know. And she triggered me, and I started yelling at her in the club. We were drunk and I'm yelling at her in the club. It was a mess. It was a mess. Not my finest hour at all. I came back here and I was almost like crying. I was crying because I was like, my whole night just got like fucked. It was not good. It was not good. I'm gonna do a little bit of eyeshadow, but not too much. Now, I'm not even gonna cover the whole eye. I'm like trying to go close to the lash line. So like I said, I kind of, maybe I should have even gone no makeup for what I'm trying to do, but I think it's fine. I need to contour my face. You know, it's really hard like navigating breakups and stuff, because that particular person is somebody that like really meant something to me at the time that we dated, and somebody I'm actually very thankful for, because I was treated very well. And when you hear some of the stories of like how women are treated in relationships and stuff like that, like I feel thankful that I was treated very well, like, you know, by this particular person. I don't have a lot of hate in my heart. He just had a wandering eye, you know what I'm saying? But that was really it. Anyway, I did not mean to make this whole thing about that. It's just that I like literally had these 2 vlogs that I'm sitting on that will never see the light of day now because they're so old. And I just want to move forward. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm vlogging my vacation, because I don't typically like watching other people's vacation vlogs, although I have vlogged my vacations before. I was like, maybe I'll do 1 day or something, maybe 2, but to vlog the whole vacation, I know I'm not going to want to edit that. And like, that's actually my whole issue right now, is like, I don't feel like editing nothing. I really don't. And I really wish I could get my brother back editing for me, but he's doing his grown-up job now. Why is it so shiny right here? I think it's dewy from the foundation. Let me put some powder up in there. You know what? Let me I think I will do a little bit of concealer. Anyway, in other news, I started another project because I am undiagnosed ADHD. I started a fashion blog called Elevated Quirk. I should actually, no, before we even talk about Elevated Quirk, I should acknowledge that I've changed my name on here to just being Kristianna. I want to talk about that actually, because you know, When in Doubt Pink, I think has served its purpose in my life for the era that it needed to serve for me. People always ask me, what is the deal with me in the color pink? And I always tell them that, like, you know, during the pandemic, when we all thought that we were gonna die, I spent a lot of time thinking about the things in my life that I wish that I could be doing more of, right? And there were a lot of things on that list. But one of the like smaller things on the list was like, you know, I love the color pink. I feel good in pink. I love pink, but I don't wear enough of it. I actually have a bunch of blue at that time, and at that time I wore a lot of blue, despite the fact that I love the color pink, and pink makes me happy. And also there was a bit of symbolism in there, like when in doubt pink, when in doubt choose you. There were also these the world hold on before I get woo woo. I don't know if you've ever heard of this like universe password thing concept, where like sometimes the universe will give you a sign and only you and the universe understand what that sign is or what that password is. Someone explained it on YouTube years ago, and I found it to actually be true for my own life, which was that mostly when it came to moving, like whenever I would need to move somewhere new or whatever, if a room in the house was already like colored pink when I got there to look at it, chances are I was going to be allowed to live in that space, right? So like the color pink was a password almost between me and the universe, right? For a long time. It just so happened to be, right? And it still is. Like when I first came to look at this place, I remember thinking, oh my god, there's no fucking way I'm gonna be able to live here. First of all, it's too much money. It's more money than I've ever paid to live anywhere. One. Two, the neighborhood. Who the fuck do I think I am to think I can live in a neighborhood this nice? You know what I mean? And then actually the inside is gorgeous too. And then I went and looked through the house, and I got to the bathroom, and the bathroom was pink. And I was like, oh, like maybe I can have these things. Like, and it was true that, you know, I ended up being allowed to live here. And I've had that moment so many times in my life where I was unsure, not certain, and then pink shows up and I'm like, oh, like maybe I was just tripping, because clearly my color is here, and like that's like my password with me in the universe, right? That sounds so woo woo, like hippy dippy, but it's just true, right? Like for me. And yeah, so like I said to myself that if we lived through the pandemic and all that the pandemic was giving, that I would wear more pink. Like I would wear more pink. I would learn to rely more on myself, and just like whenever in doubt, like look to me. When in doubt, pink, right? And that's been really holding me up through the years. And recently, I don't know, it just like hit me, and I was like, I don't think I need to be so loud in that mantra anymore. And I was like, I think I'm ready to retire the name. I think I'm ready to retire it and move on to something else, move on to a new era of my life. Ready to move on to a new era that is Kristianna, just being Kristianna. And I thought that I got the idea to just use my name, right? Because of Substack. On Substack, I was learning a little bit about how people use it and like what's it really giving and all this. And through watching someone's tutorial, they talked about how basically when you make a Substack account, you're given like an author's page, and then from the author's page you're allowed to make publications, and the publications are like the little pockets of like whatever it is you want to talk about, but you have your main like author's page. And there was something about that that really struck me, and I was like, you know, I do a lot of different things on this channel. Like I talk about my life, I like do fashion stuff, I do beauty stuff. There's a lot of different things that I do right here on this channel. And also, if we're being honest, I don't wear pink every day. Like, I love pink. You know, there are parts of my house that are pink. I do wear a lot of pink. I'm wearing pink now. But it's just not true that like I like am like a fanatic, or you know what I mean. I'm not. It's just not true. And I was like, I think I just need something that's all encompassing. And so I was like, I should just use my name. And then, you know, my channel is all encompassing of all the things. Now, going back talking about Substack, I made a Substack a while ago, but I wasn't sure if I would ever actually use it because I had a website, a blog website. But I shut that down. Winning.pink.com got shut down a while ago, mostly because I wasn't seeing any traction, right? Like, I used to have a whole blogging community, but it was getting harder to figure out how to promote my blog without doing too much. And really Blogspot, Substack has a ton of features built in, plus a network and a community built in for people who want to read blogs. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna make a publication, I mean. And I did, and I am calling it Elevated Quirk, right? Elevated Quirk is something I've been using for a while now to describe my sense of style. Very quirky girl, but not too much, just slightly more elevated. And I'm interested in it, but I don't want to make it all that I am, you know what I mean? Like, which is why this channel is not getting named that. This is my author's page where I can talk about whatever. But I do at some point want to talk about Substack here. I do want to talk about Substack here, and I do want to talk about Elevated Quirk because I did start a new Instagram page called Elevated Quirk, where I'm like posting my fits, you know. And we'll see. Like, I'm somebody who, like, I have an idea, I'll go with it, feel it out, do I like it, you know what I mean? And I'll go with the flow. And that's just how I've always been. Like, I think I was just telling you guys, like, I'm also doing makeup again, right? Doing makeup for other people again. And I have dates on the books, like on my books, that I have some weddings coming up. And I, like, you know, have done some makeup here and there, like the last couple of months. Like, I had a client, anyway, I'm doing makeup still, but I'm not promoting it with the ferocity that I had at one point, because I remembered, you're not a people person. Like, I'm not a people person. I don't really like people that much. And I forgot that, like, to do people's makeup, you have to deal with them and their personalities and their families and their, you know what I mean, like, whatever it is that they're giving or coming with. And I don't enjoy that. And I'm realizing, oh yeah, actually this is the part of it I don't enjoy. And so I'm gonna finish those weddings and whatever, and then we'll see what happens after that. But low-key, I'm like, I think I want to take advantage of the Christmas season, doing like some makeup sales or whatever, like some discounts or whatever during the holiday season, because people are going to want their makeup done, you know what I mean? So that's something I've been thinking about, but also just generally being like, I don't love this part. Like, I love doing makeup, I love makeup. I don't like having to fight with people's personalities or to get my money, you know? Shit. So we'll see. Yeah, if it's one thing about me, I'm gonna start a new project up and see where it go. That's just how I've always been. I think also I've just been having a hard time with YouTube and like wanting to stay motivated but also wanting to do something, you know what I mean? I've been having a hard time with like wanting to be perceived by other people. Like sometimes I don't want people looking at me, you know, and to vlog you got to get up here and have people look at you, you know. That sounds like very weird, but if you know, you know. Like it's hard deciding that you're gonna just be perceived by other people, and that's what I'm doing every time I make a video. And sometimes I just want to be by myself, or like I want privacy, or you know, I don't want to have to talk. But that's also like what I'm saying about like mental health is a weird space for me, and I think it's just going to be for the rest of my life. That's kind of the conclusions I'm coming to. I need something on my lips. What's this? Let's see. Let's put a little bit of that. Little. Yeah. I like that. But yeah, and then like also like my actual health, I like went to the doctor the other day and they ran some tests on me, and my liver is like doing something. I don't like want to really get into it, but it's, you know, it's interesting just like being older, getting older, and then your body starts falling apart. And there's a part of me that's like, I should go through that journey absolutely alone, and I probably will, you know what I mean? But it also means that I'm not like showing up here as much, and I don't know. I'm gonna try though, you know what I mean? Like I love YouTube. It's just hard when it's like you're making, creating, putting in time and stuff, and it feels like you're like talking to the void. Especially like when at one point I was really popping, and I'm like, damn, like I blew it. You know, that's how it feels, like I blew it. Anyway, first world problems. First world problems for sure. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Yeah, but I think these were like all the main things that I wanted to talk about. I'm hoping that I feel refreshed when I come back from vacation, so that we can just hit the ground running in September, you know what I mean? And like actually like do the thing, be consistent. Yeah. Bye.